Well, Universal Studios, you did it. You truly ended the How to Train Your Dragon franchise on a triumphant note. And also bittersweet, since my emotions were running so deep. I'll truly miss this franchise. I'll still love it. Hello, Toothless Fan 2010 here for today's movie review of How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World, directed by Dean DeBlois and produced by DreamWorks Animation and the newest movie distributor for DreamWorks, Universal Studios. The main plot of the story is Chief Hiccup has built a dragon utopia, but when danger mounts home, especially the new villain, Grimmel the Grizzly, played by F. Murray Abraham, and Toothless encountering a new dragon called the Light Fury, a subspecies of the Night Fury, Hiccup and Toothless must make impossible decisions to save their own kind. And that's basically the plot. As for me, I had high expectations when it comes to How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World, as I was a fan of the first two movies. The first film was a stepping stone in DreamWorks Animation, since it used cliches and be daring with the storytelling. And that set the mark of why DreamWorks Animation doesn't use pop culture references. The second part is like The Empire Strikes Back of DreamWorks Animation, because Dean DeBlois was so inspired by the Star Wars franchise that he pitched up the idea of doing a trilogy of the How to Train Your Dragon franchise. And that's saying of how your childhood can spread into new ideas. And when it comes to the third film, I was so excited. In fact, I got an early access showing of Fandango yesterday, and I've got to say, there were no trailers before the access showing, so we didn't buy any snacks. We just ran into the theater, like hurry up, like a hurry up offense. In case you haven't heard, I am rooting for the Los Angeles Rams in Super Bowl 53 tonight. Even if the Patriots win, history will still be made. And I hope to God that the Rams win. But if all else fails, I got my Patriots logo on in case they win their sixth Super Bowl. Now that's what we call incognito. And speaking of incognito, let's see how the story goes. So the story, I know people say it's borrowing elements from the previous sequel, How to Train Your Dragon 2, since it's focusing on finding a hidden world. Almost as similar to Valka's ice cave, but this hidden world is like a caldera and the waterfall at the edge of the world, which has a lot of calderas. As the story reached that point, I was in awe by it. I was like, we're going in. And there are positives that I like all the character interactions are nice, especially Hiccup and Astrid, since their relationship has evolved since the first movie, from platonic best friends when they were teenagers to being a romantic couple, or should I say, royal couple. Just by the way, there won't be any spoilers in this review, so if I post a spoiler, you might want to turn around with this one. Anyway, and speaking of romance, the interactions between Toothless and the Light Fury, although the Light Fury's introduction was a little bit not not what I was expecting, the Light Fury, when she first met Toothless, was pretty sweet. Short but sweet. That's what people say. And when it comes to their interactions, the courtship was the highlight of that relationship. Because Toothless was trying to do mating dances, much as you see the bird mating dances on planet Earth. Like, I don't know if they spook her or something, but I can get in the hang of that. And it was so funny, but Toothless still has a lot of tricks up his sleeve. By the way, Hiccup's been through the same process before. And it was Hiccup's turn to show Toothless that. And the supporting characters, especially Fishlegs, Not Loud, Rough Nut and Tough Nut, Arid, Gobber, they have their moments. But I don't know if they were interfering with the story about Hiccup's of letting go to be the leader of his own people, and Toothless being the alpha of the dragons. I don't know. There were some scenes that they were funny, but sometimes they can drag on. But the humor is not that bad. In fact, there are some good elements in the humor. As for the animation, it is breathtaking. When I went to the Hidden World, it feels like you were in there. In fact, this is the most beautiful out of the 3 dragon movies. And this is one of the most beautiful animated films by DreamWorks Animation. Because this franchise didn't rely on pop culture references at all. In fact, it was about finding your true self in the story, especially when it comes to the flying scenes. In fact, Toothless and the Light Fury flying together in the clouds it's making me feel like I have WALL-E vibes, WALL-E and Eve vibes, because both do nonverbal dances, and they are really entertaining to watch. And they were both visually consulted by Roger Deakins. That is genuine how you do visual effects. And the visual effects are still amazing. Now, when it comes to the characters, Hiccup, played by Jay Baruchel, gives a great performance and is determined to lead his people of Berk into the new hidden world. And yes, he is really emotional when it comes to Toothless and Hiccup's relationship, since it's the heart of the whole franchise. As for Astrid, she is more supportive than she was in the previous 2, especially when it comes to the stakes being at their highest. I know the supporting characters are pretty much, like, as Animat Reviews said best, part of Rugrats ripoffs. But I like Gobber, especially his line deliveries, especially and towards new dragons. One dragon he calls a bad omen because they appear everywhere. If you see one small dragon, you'll be surprised. And you'll be like, where did they keep coming from? As for the villain, Grimmel the Grizzly, played by F. Murray Abraham, his vocal talent was so great. Although I have some nitpicks about this villain. I like his intelligence, but his motivations were a bit by the numbers. Like, he's trying to get the last Night Fury ever along with his warlords. And his warlords, I don't think I care about the warlords, but Grimmel is a pretty nice addition to the How to Train Your Dragon franchise, as it is the last villain of the How to Train Your Dragon franchise. And I found the weak points of the Dragon movies were the antagonists, because in the first film you don't see a human antagonist because the main villain is the Red Death, the big dragon that hid in the nest. And the second one was a great Drago Bloodfist. And the third, it's a pretty good villain, but could have been better if his motivations were pretty nice. But I also like to mention that his backstory was truly the opposite of Hiccup's. I won't spoil what happened, but he was the one who killed a Night Fury the first time, and then he wanted to kill every last one when he brought real peace. And he might be the voice of tolerance because of how dragons should not coexist with humans. And he would be afraid that dragons and humans coexisting would be like the downfall of civilization as we know it. I would also like to say that the ending is so emotional that I shed a few tears that I can't even imagine how beautifully they ended this and conclude this franchise. I mean, in that moment when that scene came, I won't spoil it, I was like, oh my god, I forgot my tissues at my dorm. But don't worry, I'll use my sleeves. So, it was emotional. And the ending was pretty sweet. Well, bittersweet, as I like to say. So overall, the third How to Train Your Dragon movie provides a fitting conclusion for the franchise. It was emotional, heartwarming, has great character interactions, some beautiful animation, but a slightly average villain, and epic music by John Powell. I would like to say congratulations to DreamWorks Animation, Dean DeBlois, John Powell, everybody here who worked hard on this movie. And I would like to thank Fandango for giving me the early access screening and the opportunity to see it before everyone else when it comes out on February 22nd. So overall, guys, I give this movie a 9 out of 10. Let me know in the comments of what you think about How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World. Do you like it? And you thought it was a fitting conclusion to this franchise? Or would you rather expect more if they made a fourth How to Train Your Dragon movie, but that's not going to happen anyway? And like, share, and subscribe. But I was hoping you could get me to 50 or maybe 100 subscribers. Until then, this is Toothless Fan 2010 saying peace, YouTube.